All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for joining us here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my stream is still going. All right, sorry. All right, so we are good. We're just getting into pick bands right now. We are into the second matchup of the evening. This is now week 6, game 1, Hidden Valley Gaming versus Big Anime Titties. That's right, we are already into picks and bands, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it right up for you guys right now. We're getting into it. Welcome. I hope you guys are having a great night so far. I know we are here on the caster desk. I am Joystick, and I am joined by my friend Labyrinth1898, and of course, my good time, long time casting partner, Sean Menbung. Forgot your last name. So
Shannon, let's go. It's titty for this game. Let's go.
This game is going to be lit, guys. I just hope you all are ready.
Happy to be here.
All right, so we are in picks and bands right now. So let's go ahead and just I'm going to toss it over to the analysts right now, and I'm going to stop talking. Thank you guys for being with us.
The first big thing I see is this Alawi ban that's come out. That's a direct ban at Sebastian or Bad Instincts. He's played that Alawi. I believe it's been up twice for him so far this split, week 2 and week 4. So hoping that'll work out for him.
Yep, and then General Dill's actually getting priority pick right now. I think it's kind of interesting. We've been seeing most of the jungle captains kind of like take a back seat for most of the bans, but HVG focusing out Baba Booey, who is subbing in for Gert today on the side of Big Anime TDs. And his thresh is known across the land far and wide. Rich Jirachi will tell you all about it.
That Vi is definitely a comfort pick for General Dill. I personally had the displeasure of playing against it, and he was right everywhere he needed to be at the right time. So I think that's a great pickup for Big Anime Titties.
Yeah, I think he and some other ones like Sir Everett are part of the original Vi, Team Vi or whatever it was in Split 1. We see the Vel'Koz ban coming out. DG Mad Hatter did pull it out last week, and it did do a lot of work against who was it? Not Slapnut. Boosted Gorilla Monkeys against Gerg 7 in the mid lane, and the Olaf coming out for HVG for Bunky Knudsen.
I think this might be the first Olaf we've seen so far this season, actually, too. Or did we have one other?
No, I think this may be the first, unless it's Adam that brought out the other.
No, I don't think he played Olaf this split.
But it's kind of interesting because you want to say that Olaf is better in top lane than he is in the jungle, but Malachi is definitely better top lane than he is in jungle, unless you ask Eric Guy Fieri, which we just saw in the previous stream.
Playing some Malachi, in fact.
Yeah. And then the Bard for Allergic to Milk, huge comfort pick for this champion. We see him soloing people left and right on this champion, as Tristana and Braun, the bot lane is locked in for Big Anime TDs. Really strong bot lane. Tristana seeing a lot of resurgence lately with Misfortune, really not even seeing the Rift in most games now, being almost a permaban.
And Tristana with that attack speed, of course, easily proccing the Braum passive in lane especially. So a good combo there.
Yeah, focusing
on go ahead.
Sebastian again, the top lane with his comfort pick of Jace, so he can't just play into the Malachi. Although I think the last time he played the Jace that I can remember watching, it didn't really amount to much. It's a lane bully, but if he can't get past laning with a big enough lead, it doesn't really amount to much in a team comp. Ari and Vigar being focused. DG Mad Hatter getting 3 bans focused at him.
And that's the way you got to go with HVG, right? I mean, they are a mid-centric team. In fact, I believe that he's 30% of their team's damage, DG Mad Hatter, and just
that's massive
record behind him. Yeah, and you can't put him on his comfort picks like Vel'Koz and Ari especially. Both of those picks he will dismantle teams on. So I think it's good bans, and the fact that he hasn't picked before the second round of bans here means that they can throw all those bans at him and not feel anything for it, really, you know?
Yeah, there's no way. He's picking the Annie? Is it Annie bot mid lane? My goodness.
Wow.
Good luck playing anything into that for Django. But you could see an assassin pick come out for him, just because they do have the Shin for the shielding if you do want to run something that some of the pro LCS teams do, where they take an assassin in the mid lane and he can be split, and then Shen can answer to where you can dive and the assassin doesn't get bursted as quickly.
Shen Vi as well. I mean, you just go right in with the I believe it's called Relentless Pursuit or whatever her ult is.
Yeah.
Followed up with the Shen ult, and boom, you're in the back line. And Azir, he doesn't need to go into the back line. He's already got those soldiers to poke from far away. So I'd actually say I think Big Anime Titties has a pretty solid comp here that has a actual win condition.
Yeah, I mean, they both have win conditions. I think when you look at the side of HVG, the Sivir pick is definitely there for wave clear, but then you also kind of see how it synergizes with the rest of the team. They just want to go forward at you. Olaf is going to go forward. Malachi wants to go forward to get into your back line. Annie, flash Tibbers, someone's dead.
Or even Sivir ult. Like you said, Sivir ult, run up Tibbers. I mean,
exactly. And then the Bard to catch people out. He's already got enough movement speed as it is with all the little meeps and chimes. Side note, I really hope he chooses Bard if he has a skin choice, because I love that one with all the little music notes running around. But yeah,
naturally.
Big Anime Titties, naturally, yeah. Big Anime Titties comp is really solid. Tank top laner and initiation from, like, point and click initiation, mind you, from Vi. A scaling ADC and mid laner. That's the only thing that may slow them down, is that this Olaf and Annie can be a nuisance come the early game. Sivir's going to take some time. She'll spike later than Tristana and will do more in team fights than Tristana the later this game goes. But if they can, get some early game pressure, I think HVG might be able to take a nice early game lead.
I agree. Like you said, the Olaf and the Annie, I think you hit the nail right on the head, are going to be proactive at those points of the game. However, General Dill, like I said, very, very good at kind of arriving in the nick of time, as they say, and kind of a master of that counter gank. And they're, I mean, at the end of the day, a diamond jungler and a very good player. So I think it's going to be on him to get Big Anime Titties to the point where they want to be, where that Shen and the Azir and the Tristana are just unstoppable.
Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting. I want to highlight the Shen pick. It's definitely different than all the different types of lane bullies, although Shen in his own right can be a lane bully, especially into melee matchups like the Maokai for Akayut in the top lane. But excuse me.
It's actually interesting, though, you bring that up. Akayut on Maokai. Kind of an interesting draft strategy. We haven't seen them do that traditionally. Last week, I believe, they played Fiora and Gangplank as their carries.
Yeah, I kind of wish in some ways we would have seen the Yorick. It's more of his play style, but I'm a fan of more 5v5 team comps. I just think if you're looking at 5v5 team comps, come like 25, 30 minutes into the game, you got to give it to Big Anime TDs.
Yeah, I agree.
So, but this Shin pick, something that's really, really good about it is that it kind of covers up mistakes that can be made in your bot lane. When they solo laners hit 6 first, you can either make plays and be proactive with it, or you can be reactive with it, and it shores up a lot of sometimes communication errors that can happen, or times where you get yourself caught out. I'm really interested to see how they decide to use it and how it manifests itself come later in the game. And then I'm still thinking that Elliot will play that Olaf. I want to know if he's going to take Ghost or not. I think Ghost is definitely still the better of the summoners of Flash and Ghost.
Unless they're trolling us here, it does look like he's going to be taking that Olaf. And I've seen it a little bit in the top lane, like we were saying, and maybe it does scale up and you can start building some real damage on Olaf and become a threat in the top lane. But I think it's going to be important for them in the jungle, like you said, for him to be able to take over the early and mid game. It's going to be incredibly important to have that Olaf instead of the Maokai. Although at the last second, I mean, we were talking about Akayut. I think he could take this champion and do something with it. But
yeah,
would be a big shock to me.
I'll say this. Either one of these possible junglers, I would not be surprised if you see a level 2 or 3 gank from the jungler onto mid lane, because Annie with that point and click CC stun,
So easy.
so easy, and Azir, especially if Azir is level 2, he hasn't taken his E at that point, and you can burn a flash and then burn the TP or something like that, maybe even get a kill off of it and put Django behind, and then you can get this Annie roaming the side lanes with whomever is their jungler, which looks like it's going to be the Olaf.
And it looks like it's going to be Flash Olaf, too. What you were saying, I'm intrigued by that. I agree. I think Ghost on Olaf is the much better summoner, but however, Olaf having no ways to get over walls or anything like that, guess he opted for the Flash instead.
Yeah, I think that's exactly the only reason why you play a lot of not many junglers take Ghost, and it kind of changes your mental play style. So taking Flash just kind of makes it to where he's like, well, if the blast plant's not up, I'll just jump over and ult or something like that.
But I thought Ghost with that Sivir ult, like you said, would have just been so effective, and Olaf in your face almost instantly.
I hope he doesn't take Predator. That's a trap. Sometimes people take Predator on Olaf. I hope he takes the Comet. The Comet is the way to go, in my opinion. Some people like press the attack. I'm not.
I'm used to seeing press the attack. I think either Comet or press the attack is the way to go. But I agree with you. I think those are the best two masteries for the situation. The Comet's just so easy because you get the Q and a huge slow, and you just basically get a free.
And then you do it all over again. And
exactly.
You make someone tilt off the face of the earth. So I think Brandon's still here. Let's. You want to do some roster rundowns, Brandon? Is your mic on?
I would love to. Sorry, it was muted in OBS while you guys were doing your thing. But yes, let's go ahead. We'll go run through the rosters right now. Forgive me if I butcher these summoner names because a lot of them don't make any sense, but that's okay. They don't have to. We in the top lane on the side of Hidden Valley Gaming, we have Akayut on the Maokai, and in the jungle, we have Bunky Knudsen on the Olaf. I believe that is a debut for the PMA LCS. We also have DJ Mad Hatter on the Annie in the mid lane. Super Hoagie on the Sivir in the bot lane with his best friend, Allergic to Milk, playing that bard. Over on the side of Big Anime Titties, we have Bad Instincts on the Shen in the top lane. General Dill running the Vi. Classic General Dill. In the jungle, Jingo Unchained, we have Azir in the mid lane. Running in the bot lane, we have Opie on the Tristana, and Baba Booey subbing in on the Braum in the bot lane. So that is our matchups, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and get into chat here, and we already have some predictions coming in before I even said it. Hashtag RIP win. But real talk, let's get in the chat here and let's see a BAT win for Big Anime Titties or hashtag HVG win for Hidden Valley Gaming. What do you guys think? I'm going to go ahead and throw it to you, Eric, first. What do you think? Make your prediction. Who's going to win this game?
You know, I said the team comp on the side of Big Anime Titties there kind of won me over. I think if they can survive, which I believe General Dill will be able to help them with surviving the early game and the mid game, I think that they'll be able to put a nice little bow in this game. I think they're hungry for wins as well. HVG's been up there at the top of the standings, but BAT's been having to fight for every win, so I take that into account too.
So which one is it?
BAT. I say hashtag BAT. Sorry.
All right. And my man Sean Menbung over here, what do you think? Is it hashtag BAT or hashtag HVG win?
I'll just say this. Every game one I've ever thought Frank, DG Mad Hatter, lost draft, he's won. So I'm going to go with HVG win because he's got something in these game ones, man. And like we discussed about it, and it's going to be the press the attack for the Olaf that we discussed as well. That if
I think that's the best mastery.
And Olaf can get rolling early, it's going to be really good. And I believe in the Mad Hatter, man. I got to believe in the Mad Hatter game ones. But I do digress that it is a overall better comp on the side of Big Anime TDs. But I'm going HVG win.
All right. What about you, Brandon? You're breaking the tie. Come on.
Geez. If I'm going to just go based on team comp alone, I'm going to have to go with hashtag BAT win. I think their comp is a little bit stronger in those team fights, but like we said, it's really going to come down to whether or not they can survive through that early game, which I think with the direction of General Dill, they'll be able to do it.
Dill be able to do it? Okay, very nice.
I see what you did there. All right, so it looks like a few pings coming down. We got
Oh, I'm not in. Oh, there it is. All right, hold on.
Yeah.
setting up there on the bot side river, though. Maybe looking for something or just being safe.
Yeah, I don't think the only team. Wait, buckle up, Oni-chan. Oni-chan is coming.
Oh, we got some.
All right, so we have a little bit of harass coming down, but both of these teams looks like they're setting up for their jungle. And we are into it, ladies and gentlemen. If you are just joining us, welcome. We are into Week 6, Game 1, HVG versus BAT. We've got a lot of emote spamming happening right now. It's
Well, they just want to show off their mastery. It's very
Look, you
important.
got level 5, 6, and 7. It's so
Yeah.
yeah, and as one of our viewers was keen to notice, we are absolutely into the Snowdown Summoner's Rift, which
Oh,
really
yeah.
excited about. I'm trying to get rid of this Discord thing. I have you guys as like icons up on the screen in Discord.
Oh yeah, the overlay.
Well,
How do I
we've
get rid
got
of that?
Ernest Elf Tristana skin coming
Disabled
out
it.
as well as the
All right.
silver one. Both AD carries, kind of feeling in the spirit of the holidays.
And the Bard as well.
Yeah, just
But
showing
then
that
you
hey, my lane is fully snowdowned.
Yeah, and then Braum is obviously an ice champion. But the Broloff, I mean, come on, Bunky. You could have just played regular Olaf.
Yeah,
Why'd you have to go Broloff? That has
0
no
out of 10 for
procedure.
theming bonuses.
Yeah,
For sure.
no Frozen Shen. As we can. Oh, okay. I love this. This is so stupid of me, but okay. So you know how he's DG Mad Hatter? He's playing the alley, like the Annie in Wonderland skin, like it's an
Mad
actual
Hatter.
Mad
Okay.
Hatter.
All right.
Oh,
I
And Olaf actually just going buff to buff. It looks like doesn't even take a
he gonna
small
invade?
camp. Yeah, it looks like he might be going for an
Oh,
early
no,
invade here.
is that
This is
level two
interesting.
An early gank coming in. All right,
Oh.
Olaf coming around the side of the lane. Jingo has absolutely no idea. They do get the stun off with the Annie. The axe comes out to slow him up. Maybe a little bit too early, but they do get the ignite out. The flash is there as well.
One more
Are we
axe
going to see?
maybe?
Oh, we do see the DG flash forward. Oh, and the axe throws
yes.
it. And that's the first blood. Incredible play from Bucky Knudsen. But then General Dill flashes in with the red buff,
I was
with the
talking
Vi.
about.
He's going to get that kill, but Olaf's going to chase him down. He's got the red buff as well. Another axe, and that's another kill for Bunky Knudsen. What an incredible play.
So Vi there had the right idea. Coming in for the counter gank is exactly what I said General Dill needs and should be doing. So that was great by him. However, the Olaf totally underestimated the damage with that. I don't know if he was unfamiliar with the champion or just didn't expect that, but Olaf really turning that around. That was huge for Bunky Knudsen.
And I'll tell you what, it's because of that press the attack. The press
Yeah.
the attack right there is the main reason why the double kill went around for Olaf right there, which is huge. You have him 2 kills now with first blood, and both
That's a
summoners
scary
are for
Olaf.
both mid lanes.
Hmm.
That is a definite scary Olaf, and he's already going red smite. I kind of wish he would take blue smite only because it makes it easier to chase down, and that's kind of what you need right now. But the red smite means he should invade, although he's just sitting. Oh, okay, he's moved down. Okay, I thought he was just sitting in base for a second.
Speaking of invading, though, we've got General Dill in the
Oh,
enemy
no.
jungle right now.
That's not what I want. Sorry, stream's about to make fun of me because I was editing my resolution, and it's not what I wanted.
But he feels pretty confident in there. Surprising, considering the Olaf is coming over right now. Okay, he's got a blast cone, though.
Yeah. Now they should be communicating this with the Maokai, so he doesn't.
We do have a gank coming in. Vi cues in on the Maokai, but he's going to flash forward now. He's got 2 of his teammates on his side. Bad Instincts going to stick around for a second, but he's saving that taunt, it looks like, and he's going to be able to get out of there if they come in for him.
Yeah, he actually missed the taunt at the beginning of that fight as the Vi went over on the blast cone, and she's hovering back top because he blew the flash, which I thought was a little bit preemptive, but maybe it's just the unfamiliarity of how much damage he can take.
The repeat gank mid.
Yep, no flash for Azir either.
Jingo's going to be able to just walk out of this, fortunately for him. But, yeah, I mean, that just goes to show they're really trying to keep down this Jingo Unchained. He's going to be a monster lake. And we do have a gank happening with the flash is forced out of the Sivir in the bot lane. They're going to actually go flash forward under this turret. Super Hoagie's 1 hit from dead. The flash forward from Opie, he is able to get out. Wow. They actually diving under the turret once they realize the support is gone and go for the kill and executing on that overstay on the side of Super Hoagie.
And there's the combo. All Braum needs to do is apply that passive. And then Tristan, you just auto attack, auto attack, auto attack. Bard was off somewhere else, I think collecting chimes, although I didn't see exactly.
Yeah, he was up near mid lane near the pixel brush where the red pink ward is. But if you're super Hoagie, two things. You gotta be communicating this with your support, so why are you that far pushed? And then also, at the same time, you have a spell shield. You don't need to use it early. It's like fairly telegraphed when the stun's gonna go off. So just something we hope we see change here within the later parts, because Allergic to Milk will be roaming most likely to help out that mid lane and get vision into the blue side jungle.
You're right. You got to remain cool in those situations with that spell shield. Like I said, especially with the Braum passive, you can easily see when the 4th proc is going to come off. So I think you're right, blowing that a little bit early.
So as we're watching this Olaf jungle here, even though he does have that 2-0 early kill lead, he's still about 12 CS down. We actually have the Maokai going in on the Shen. They've got a gank coming in on the top. The Olaf's going to come in. He's going to throw him up. The Maokai's going to snare him up. They're going to keep going. The Shen is actually going to save his flash. He's going to get out under the turret. Yeah, so we have a little bit of a deficit here between Vi and the Olaf. Vi is actually level 5. The Olaf is level 4. Now, with that 2-kill advantage, what do you guys think about this matchup as it's going? Is he playing this early lead that he got well enough, or is he going to fall behind still against this Vi?
I think that he can clear a little bit faster. My only worry is I think it took too long to back on his first back.
And he's gonna. Oh man, DG Mad Hatter with the level 6 is gonna face check that General Dill, and actually it doesn't even matter. He's gonna get just
that's a jungler
absolutely kill
versus
him.
A mid laner right there. That's what happens, guys.
from full to just nothing.
To address your point, though, I think that, the Olaf maybe should have dedicated a little bit more time to farming, especially going that early jungle item, even though it was the Skirmisher Saber, and he wants to keep making plays, considering he and Annie, like we said, are kind of the linchpins of the early and mid game for their team here. I think maybe he just got a little caught up trying to make plays and has fallen a bit behind, but I don't think it's a huge deal, because like Sean said, he does farm a bit faster, I believe. So
yeah, and it's just, he's got his whole red side jungle. He will be hitting level 6, which is kind of huge when you think about. Also, just one thing to note that I want to talk on that was a little micro move. Aka, you using the Bramble Smash onto the Shin taunt was really, really nice. Little thing, just want to give him a shout out right there. Was why Shin had to burn the flash in the previous gank. But once Olaf hits 6, which should be right after, he's going to clear his Krugs instead of his Raptors.
Yeah, no.
Once these junglers hit 6 shield, we'll be seeing a lot more movement on the map, because Dill will have a point and click, a way to initiate onto anybody on the entire map, which he's about to hit after this. Yep, and then here comes the Olaf in the bot lane, but they are level 5 and 6 on the bot lane.
They're gonna spot him out.
I think this is a forced gank right here.
Not enough mana for the Sivir ult. No way they're getting this.
Oh, the Bard flashes forward, trying to get the stun out onto the Braum, but the Braum shield is going to miss it. He's going to W out. They're going to knock him back with the Tristana ult, and he's just going to walk out of that. That's actually a flash burned on a failed gank.
They really needed the Sivir ult. Like I said, they had the level 6 on the Sivir. However, no mana. Should have either waited for that. Oh my goodness.
The Bard actually going super low. General Dill going to get the final auto attack on him. They're going to ult now onto Annie, who's maybe just a little bit too far forward. He's going to try to stun up General Dill. Ult's in the middle of the fight, but meanwhile he's in the background. Olaf just coming in. Shen's ulting, but they actually cancel the Shen ult with the Olaf is going to get the kill as well. That's another kill onto the Olaf. We have another fight happening still. General Dill is trying to get away, but in top lane we got Maokai trying to stop the Shen ult. Uses the ult actually to get away, but Shen is way too strong. He's going to flash forward. He's going to keep going in on this Maokai, who's really got no chance but just to run away. He does have his flash still. He's going to W over to the turtle, and he's going to keep going. Shen's going to back off of this.
So some slick moves there by that Maokai.
Crap,
but
excuse me.
I really want to highlight that Olaf in that team fight. We were talking about, the 2 kills being a little bit behind, but that is the testament to the power of Olaf at this point in the game. He hit level 6, and he said, I don't care about anything. I'm coming for your backline. And his backline right now does not have enough damage to stop an Olaf running at them.
We have another face check happening by General Dill. This is the second time he's face checked, and this might cost him. It, in fact, does cost him his life. The second face check, the first one against the Annie, this time against both the Bard and the Olaf. And they're now looking at this dragon.
And I think this is a huge thing. You got to do this dragon right now. Shen ultimate is down. His TP is still up, but they're not going to make the play without the jungler. The Azir ult is down. You have to focus this right now. Something to talk about in that last team fight is that while Allergic to Milk did cut out, it forced the Azir ult, so he didn't have it for the rest of the team fight. And then also Annie not being succinct with the rest of their team, getting in and getting focused by the assault and battery from the Vi. But it allowed all the major cooldowns to already be used. She being the Annie, kind of mistimed the stun usage. Could have probably still killed General Dill. But man, that Olaf just running in the backline. He's going to be the honey badger of this game because CC does not matter to him. He does not care.
And the Azir ult too. I mean, that's the thing, right? I mean, that Azir ult is usually most people's way of saying, hey, get off me, you know? And Olaf, he's just going to run right through that. Just, man. A really great pickup now that I'm seeing it in action. It just
we have the Bartle coming out attempting to get the gank off onto the Azir, but he just dashes out of it like it's no problem.
Yeah, and that's something I want to talk about in that failed gank that happened bot lane. I don't know why we flashed with the Bard as he comes into the bot lane to try to get something going on OP. Okay.
We do have the Sivir ult coming out in bot lane. Opie is by himself. He jumps out. The Super Hoagie still going for, but then he gets Braum Q'd and then ulted, but he does spell shield the ult. He's still got 2 hits of Braum Q on him. They're going to stun him up. They're going to flash forward. Super Hoagie eventually is able to back off with a double Bard stun. Super tight fight there. Maybe not necessarily what Super Hoagie wanted there.
I think Super Hoagie could have even turned that, in my opinion. I think that there was a stun was stunned, where you could have output at least a couple auto attacks and the health Trist was at. I wasn't sure if she would have lived.
No, yeah, I don't think Trist would have lived, but I also think Super Hoagie didn't fully commit to the play in the initial part of it, but he spell shielded the Braum ultimate, which ultimately saved his life. Because that knockup would have been the death of him, most likely.
I think so.
We got
coming back by lane, maybe another 2v2. We'll see if they just back off this.
Yeah, 5-0 Olaf at 12 minutes, pretty scary, but he will fall off as the game goes.
And it's only a 1,000 gold lead on the side of Hidden Valley Gaming, so we do have a slight fight happening in top lane, but I don't know how much either of these two are committed. We have a big team fight happening. Mad Hatter is actually getting stunned up with the Vi ult. They're going to keep going, and Opie gets him.
That Olaf.
This Olaf is in the middle of this team fight. He doesn't give a... But he's going to keep running around. He's way overcommitted, unfortunately, and they're able to kite him out in that instance and get the double kill onto Hidden Valley Gaming. So now that 1,000 gold lead actually turned against them, and they're now down about 600 gold.
If you look, the Sivir and Bard ults are just about to come off cooldown. They needed those in that fight. They should not have fought or taken a fight. I didn't see how it started, but they should not have taken a fight without those 2 ultimates. Those are key for their team fights.
So as I saw what happened, Sal was on another mission around the pink ward near the wolf camp right now on red side, and he gets caught out again by the Azir wall, and then again he gets caught out. He has to run away, and he has to respond, and he gets assault and batteried immediately to where Super Hoagie is just not there in time. Olaf doesn't have enough damage to do anything.
We have the Bard coming in, attempting a gank onto the Azir, but he actually jukes forward to avoid the Bard ult and then dashes over the wall. Well played by Jingo.
Yeah, you gotta, that's the time where I think maybe flashing would have been worth it. You can burn the flash, if anything, for Jingo, or just...
He didn't have it.
EQ.
It's just now about to come back up.
Yeah. So he'd have to burn the EQ combo, and then you can throw the Bard ultimate, because he can't do anything from there. But it was a nice attempt. You gotta know they're in there still.
Yeah, there's some kind of death bush. They're actually going around the back here. Allergic to Milk is fully aware, but they're going to jump over. They're going to use the Tristana ult immediately to jump over. Super Hoagie's going to actually ult to get into the Bard ultimate, and they're just going to try to get out, but they're going to get followed over, and then Bard's going to stun him up against the wall. Braum's chasing after Super Hoagie, who still had the speed boost, and they're going to get away. Incredible. What a play. What a fiesta.
The communication came through there, but
yeah.
I think Bard was like, you're on your own.
Follow me if you want to.
This communication about, hey, do you know where these guys are? I don't know. Let's go check. Hey, let's get out of here. I got ulted away.
Oh. So ultimately, nothing much coming from that. But
is it going to result in a tower, though? That's Tristana Braum against just the Bard. I think that is going to be first tower on the side of Big Anime Titties.
There's a huge collapse coming from mid lane and the jungler.
Oh, no. Annie's here now. Annie's here now. So Annie's going to skip past the Braum, doesn't care. Sees Opie, flashes again to get the Opie, and they just delete him. Absolutely, Bunky gets the kill. They're going to keep going in on this Braum. They're going to slow him up. They're going to keep going against him, and they're going to get the double kill. Again, 7 kills onto the Olaf, and they're going to looking for this tower now. Instead of getting the tower killed on their side, they're going to look for the first one themselves.
And this is huge. You see this in all types of play, solo queue and professional play. When you feel like you're going to get the first tower, everyone on the team kind of relaxes. And that was the perfect time for DG Mad Hatter for them to make that play. You see, he didn't burn it right away on the Braum. He knew who he had to kill. Killed the Tristana. You get first tower. This is huge.
And he's a guy who's a linchpin for this team. I mean, not only in this game, but in their strategy as a whole. So such a huge one for them. Big morale boost for his team. Looked like that tower was going down. Bot lane had a little miscommunication from time to time, but Funky and DG show up and just say, hey, we're in this game, and you got to deal with us. If you mess with them, we're watching.
So question for the analysts. We see this Olaf now sitting on 7 kills, basically taking almost all of the kills for himself in that, and building tank with it. Now, how big of an impact is that going to have for his team being kind of starved of some of those kills? Granted, now we have a Shen ult coming in. Vi's going to go in as well. Azir's going to flash forward and attempt to just throw the Sivir back, but she uses Spell Shield to get out. Now DG Mad Hatter might be in a little bit of a bind. Jingo getting super low from the Annie burst. Annie's going to get away. Red team does kill the dragon. They're going to keep going. Bunky nuts in super low from the Tristana.
Oh, no.
He's got their Tristana on him, but he's going to get killed by the explosion at the end.
Wow.
So he does wind up dying for it.
Accidentally healed himself instead of Bunky.
And the dragon going over to red team. So all of those kills being on the Olaf, losing the dragon, what do we think? How is this going for Hidden Valley Gaming, despite their jungler being super ahead?
So yeah, you don't necessarily want all 7 kills to be on the jungler. The first 2 were nice. Maybe you could have given the last one that he took in the bot lane to the Annie, to where you'd be seeing a 2 and 3 Annie who has a little bit more money to probably finish like Sork shoes or something. But a big meaty Olaf being just as meat ram, just ramming it down the throats of big anime titties.
I absolutely agree. I think that going like a more damage item, I don't know, like I'm not that familiar with Olaf, but like a Black Cleaver or something would actually be a trap. I think that like you said, I think the fact that he's actually becoming now a tank that they have to deal with. He can run into these guys.
Oh, we have a fight going on top lane. Olaf going
Just
unstoppable,
like
just running after General Dill here. Bad Instincts is in the back line, trying to avoid the bar, but General Dill is super low, but he flashes over into the Baron pit. The Maokai, oh my god, and the Maokai's coming for him. And then Manzir's going to throw away the Maokai. General Dill's going to get away. He's flashing the mastery. We got another flash coming from Bad Instincts, and his teammates are actually saving him here. What an incredible play. Akuti, whenever he's getting out of there, he's getting the Braum stunned up. Baba Booey's getting out of there, and everyone actually makes it out alive. What is going on? Why is General Dill alive?
Right,
Holy
That's
crap.
actually the power. That's actually, I think, Bunky trying to give the kill over to Akayut right there. I think that's what that is.
Akayut, I'll get there. Okay, we do have the Barm actually hitting the Bardo, holding the Tristana, and a double stun for the Bardo, and then the Maokai root comes out. Oh my god, and they're gonna get everybody. General Dill is getting into him as well, and that's another kill for them. That's 3 for 0 on the side of HVG. They're going for another turret. Maybe not. Jingo is just enough to deter them. Jingo deters them. They're gonna back off, and they can't get the Rift Herald. It's too late. So. We'll see what they do.
Actually, General Dill has it in his inventory.
That's good.
He got that when the bot lane first tier tower went down.
Excellent. So they're looking at top lane possibly. What a play though. What a series of plays really from Hidden Valley Gaming.
They're looking at top lane, but I'm not sure that they responded to that quick enough to make it up there and take this turret. I think actually they should have kept pushing. Oh, they may still get it because mid lane doesn't care. They're just going to trade.
Wait, Aki just TP'd in to try to save this, but I think there's nothing he can do.
Yeah,
not by himself.
So in fact, a 1 team fight turned into just a 1-for-1 tower trade.
Opie?
Wow. Maybe not paying attention.
Opie
to
gets
the map
deleted.
or-
I was looking at the mid lane tower. I apologize to chat. We didn't
And
see
he
that.
had to- Oh no! Oh, Aki, what are you doing? Oh, directed camera, please.
Yeah, as I was saying, that's a team fight that that HVG won, and then instead of shoving the mid tower 4v2, they actually ran all the way up to top to try to take a top outer, losing them the mid tower in the process, turning it into a 1-for-1 trade for turrets.
And you definitely, although if you look at the whole trade, it was a 2-for-1 with kills going on to them because they took the mid lane outer,
Sure,
which
the
started
kills, yeah.
that. So, it's, with all that being said, I do agree, but trying to get that mid tier 2 would have been so much harder than getting that top lane tier 1. It also just allows, you know, a little bit more, now that all outer turrets are down. And then you got the kill again onto OP there. This is looking pretty nasty because it looks like a Ludens is about to be built for this Annie. And if she builds any pin after that, she already has pin shoes like a Leandry's or a Void Staff, and it's
Yeah.
gonna have the death cap eventually.
Jingo's dead. Opie's dead. Even Dill at this point is dead from one of those combos. Absolutely.
Like
Still
yeah,
an
and also,
incredibly close game though.
General Dill only has Merc Treads as a magic resist item, and I hope he's stopped building into a Trinity Force and he just builds that into a Black Cleaver because Trinity Force is going to be way late on that power spike.
Yeah, but I think Labyrinth actually makes a good point in that, you know, despite we seeing some OP items, you know, a Fed Olaf and everything, it's still a pretty close gold game as far as it goes.
Which benefits General Dill's team, big enemy cities like we were talking about.
Opie's behind the barge. Shen ults him, but then Shen's like, wait, come back in. General Dill getting super low from the Annie burst, and then actually gets thrown in from Azir. And we have a Sivir coming down. She's trying to get out as well. Wow, what a turn for them. Maybe
was
not
a
exactly
very-
what they wanted. The Olaf just doing the crab in the background, not exactly focusing on that fight.
Yeah, this was a very disjunct team fight. You had Annie put down the Tibbers, but it didn't stun because the stun wasn't ready on the General Dill, and that led to the Sivir being burned and Bard going over and a bunch of flashes being burned, and then Opie just running for his life, and Shen's like, hey, go back in, have shield. Very interesting sequence of events.
Looks like they might be posturing a little bit around Baron. Both teams trying to get some vision on it, saying, hey, this looks like it's the next big objective. We got that dragon coming up. We can get vision on Baron and either try to take the dragon or Baron bait maybe for some teams. It's just it's looking more and more precarious as time gets on for HVG. We talked about the scaling, the Shen, the Tristana, the Azir. These are all going to be problems. Who cares if Vi's getting blown up? Vi can get this Bramble Vest, although it does look like she's going Trinity Force, which is questionable in my opinion, being behind like this.
I mean, if for the Vi, what she's going to want to do and what she has been doing games is every time she has her ult up, she wants to just blow up the Annie. And if you can blow up the Annie, you take out their main source of deletion.
At least until the ricochet bounces start doing damage, absolutely.
Yeah, but it's going to take a long time as the Azir turret does go up. And I think they're going to be looking for this Mountain Drake. And this would be
They push the lane out. They push mid lane out. It looks like they're turning their sights on clearing out some vision.
We have a death bush a little bit being set up, but they actually do get a double Bard stun. Annie attempting to blow up Opie, but maybe going a little too hitty. DG Mad Hatter uses the Zoni's effect. He goes down. Bad Instincts is going down as well. General Dill is down. We've got two members down on the side. DG Mad Hatter is dead as well, but then Braum ult's trying to stun up to Azir. They're actually going to throw out. Oh my god, there's so many people are dying here. This is not good. Jingo is dead as well. Opie's left barely alive. He manages to get back, but that's a 4-for-1 trade for the side of HVG.
So the key there was that Sivir was untouched most of that fight. Took very little damage. Maybe went down to 75%. They did so much trying to take out the Annie like we were talking about.
Whereas Opie was out of the
able to
fight
bring
right
it.
in the beginning.
Yeah, that was the one that they initiated the fight on. Also, DJ Mad Hatter not dying immediately using the stopwatch is huge. Allergic to the plays get from behind the Baron, my lord. Sorry. Pet peeve.
Yes,
If
pet
you're,
peeve.
oh,
A TP coming through though.
Shen trying to get the TP. Opie jumps out in the middle, but blue team does get the smite out of it. Opie's going to fall as well. Now, Bad Instinct stuck in the pit. He uses a taunt to get out. Questionable place.
Yeah,
I think that Baron was going to the meter, but General Dill now in the pit with the Maokai. He's going to ult onto the Maokai. Maokai's just going to try to run away. Allergic to Milk is there to back him up, but then he does get in the taunted as well, knocked up by the Vi. Wow, and they finally do it as General Dill's going forward still, but eventually realizing there's nothing left for him. But Olaf and Super Hoagie over here looking at that new Mountain Drake.
Yeah, I mean, I think overall getting the kill on the split push top laner, or, the one who's going to be in the side lane, not necessarily split push, is nice, but you had to burn Shin Flash for it, Opie dies for it as well, and then you burn your ultimate on Vi for the tank, when you could have just set up and taken this dragon as a consolation prize, because they wouldn't have been able to back with any of their Baron money, and you would have probably gotten the jump on them. So, not a worth trade when it's 2 for 5 all around and a Baron and a Drake.
But showing the General Dill just says, hey, you're not done with us here. That I like the tenacity behind it. Again, I agree, though. I think that going for the Dragon would have been a much better call there. They already knew that there was probably no way they were getting that Baron. Opie jumping over in, it was just a situation where you lose more than it's worth.
And did we see that Rift Herald buff now wearing off of General Dill? I don't think they actually got a chance to use it.
So when they were pressuring tier 2 top after they took the first
tier
top, they popped it as a way to deter them off. When
real quick then.
Akayut was going mid lane and fighting 2v1 against the Shin and Django. So that's when that was used. They didn't gain anything with it.
So the Olaf actually, with that tanky build we were talking about, is still a huge threat, as we've seen.
Akayut is happy to tank up this turret here while his team, they figure might as well, instead of dancing around it, let's just have him tank it.
Yeah, what
just
they
go
need
for
to do right now on the side of HVG, though, they have no vision in, the jungle of big anime TDs. You need that if you're going to look. I mean, there's 2 ping cords in the red side jungle right now. Now, if they're going to work for the spot lane, that's where you need to get some vision, and you can put Annie somewhere to try to just one-shot somebody, because I can tell you this, she can do it. She can flash jump onto, Django and destroy him right now. He has a Banshee's Veil. If that's not up, the stun's going to land, and he also doesn't have a Zhonya's or even a stopwatch at this moment.
Yeah, I think that Baron take and the situations that have played out in the last couple of minutes here have actually put HVG in a really nice place, a place I think they're happy to be. They're taking towers around the map, they're pressuring whatever they want, and there's really nothing that Big Anime Titties is doing about it.
Yeah, they have to just kind of answer as full split push going, a little slow push, going in the top wave, but their wave clear is not bad, and they can stall really well with the Azir. But this Annie, if she has her flash up at any time, they can threaten and dive. And we're about to see the Sivir hit the 3-item power spike. Has almost enough. Looking for some things to take to maybe get this Infinity Edge and get 3 items, which is going to be huge if left unattended to, like we saw in that fight around. And she just completes it right now.
Yeah, that's huge. Like you said, I mean, Sivir and Tristana right now, I'd give it to Sivir at this point in the game. I mean, if you were gonna have a team fight right now, I'd rather have that Sivir on my team. So.
Well, I think at any point past this game in a straight up 5v5 team fight, you got to give it to Sivir.
Yeah.
If left untouched. Which kind of puts General Dill in a precarious situation. Do you jump onto the Sivir or do you jump onto the Annie? Because if you blow up the Annie, the extended team fight, you and the rest of your team get shredded. But if you focus the Sivir, it's going to have to be like a coordinated effort around vision and making vision plays. As General Dill is.
General Dill getting collapsed on right now. He's in a tough spot. General Dill's just going to get completely stunned up and locked up, totally out of position. He's going to get just deleted. He's too squishy to survive something like that. And they're now looking at top lane. What a position.
He's had that Bramble Vest sitting there for a while, and you want to build that into something, but the way he went with the Trinity Force, he just had to spend so much gold to get that now the point where he needs to be tanky, he's just not. And that positioning, he can't be in that position with the build that he has.
Yeah, definitely. And the Sivir just clearing these with 1 ricochet. My goodness. and it puts him in such a hard look exactly.
And he flashes over the wall and just gets onto the Azir, trying to delete him, but the Shen actually manages to ult. He uses the barrier, no, not the barrier, excuse me, the heal as well. And they're going to look onto this mid tower, but Azir is forced to back off. General Dill is just now coming back alive. He still does have his ultimate. He's got flash. Bad Instincts comes in as well, but the Olaf, like we said, is just going to use his ult. He's just going to get in. He's just going to do tons of damage. General Dill is going to ult in on a DG Mad Hatter. He's actually going to flash into him. He does get the kill on a DG Mad Hatter, but he's too extended. He goes out. OP is now jumping in onto the Bard. He's forced to get out now. He's way out of position, and they're actually going to finally get the kill onto the Tristana. What was he thinking? He went full Wild Turtle on that Tristana.
That was a little questionable there. Jumping into 4 of them, even if he gets that kill and gets the reset, I don't think he's going anywhere. What was he hoping to accomplish?
He did go somewhere. He went straight to Fountain.
He needed to shop. No, sorry, Opie, we love you. We love you.
Yeah, no, exactly.
That's all. We hate because we love you.
Yeah, no, but I mean, we nearly saw exactly what I said could happen and nearly kill him. Now the E shield and the Shen ult were burned, and then General Dill had to focus was able to focus the Annie because of the Shen taunt that happened onto Super Hoagie. Super Hoagie's positioning there was good initially, but then he just skirted around the rest of the fight and just became kind of an ult bot to where he just allowed his team to run around faster. If he allows to put himself into a position where he can still do damage as this Mountain Drake comes up, and it should be HVG's, no question. It's just, he can probably carry these team fights so much harder. He already had the Last Whisper crew as well, so these Bramble Vest and, armor that anyone's building is not going to matter much anymore.
And the completed GA on Olaf now. In my opinion, this is HVG's game to lose here. They just need to group up, pop the Sivir ult, pop the Maokai ult if needed, and it should be a pretty straightforward team fight with their comp.
Looks like they might want to seal the deal with the Baron here, though.
I think this is smart, though, because against an Azir and the wave clue that he and Tristana can provide, you want to play it by the book right now. Also, you have 2 Mountain Drakes. You can burn this down with a Sivir that has 3 items right now.
In the Last Whispers, very helpful.
Yeah. So you can just do this now.
They're starting it, but Big Anime Titties does have vision of it.
Yeah, they have to know they just placed that ward as.
They do know. We do have the teleport coming in from the Shen. He's going to go in on it. The Baron is actually down to a quarter health or so. Bad Instinct's now just kind of trapped in here with the Baron. He's going to dash out. But that's maybe not what he wanted, because now they're just going to go back in and they're going to burn it down. Olaf does finally get the smite out. He's going to get it. And now General Dill is stuck inside of this pit. But Opie was getting on poke. We got some Akute going in the back lane. We got total ults coming out. And he tries to delete somebody. They get General Dill stunned up. They're going to keep going in on him. Bad Instincts follows as well. They're just going to keep going. Tristana, Opie trying to jump away. He's got a ton of poke down on him. Olaf's just throwing stuff. The Maokai sapling finally gets him. Baba Booey in the back down, trying to get him to stun him up. And Jingo falls as well. And it's hard to keep up with everything, but eventually we realize that finally all 5 members of Big Anime Titties falls. And Hidden Valley Gaming is looking in with the teleport. They're going for the throat here.
Yeah, definitely a messy fight there. The Olaf actually going for the Vi initially and getting on the wrong side of the pit. So wasn't able to get into that fight until, wow, a suicide by allergic to milk. Interesting. But yeah, I think it's going to be HVG's game.
I'm going to laugh if that cost them the game somehow.
Yeah, okay.
Bunky not going for it.
Yeah,
there it is.
The of the words. There we go.
All right. So we do have the first win of, Game 1. The game ended without a result? I don't think that's true, Rito.
Yeah, we have no idea who won.
Don't think that's true.
It was a tie.
No, it says here, the post game.
We went
anyway,
ladies and gentlemen, so if you're just tuning in, that was the end of Week 6, Game 1, Game 1 of the series. Hidden Valley Gaming takes it against Big Anime Titties in Game 1, but we will be setting up very soon for Game 2 as Big Anime Titties attempts to reclaim it from HVG. So, guys, what do you think? That didn't quite go the way the casters had expected it to. I think a couple of us voted on BAT, so what do you guys think?
Yeah, not everybody, though. I knew DG Matt Hatter, and we called it in the early game, Lavi and I. We're talking about the
Olaf.
And the Olaf being the linchpins, and then also when I said you have Azir so easily gankable level 2 with that Annie lockdown stun, and that's what happened, the first blood. Now, It was very close. It had to be this fadeaway Olaf axe that got the first blood, and then a double kill after General Dill burned Flash to secure a kill trade on that side. But my goodness, it is a back and forth game left and right, but each team seemingly knowing what their win conditions were. I just think it was better proactive use of the map and the plays that were happening on the side of HVG. And when I talked about it earlier in the pre-game, the Shen ultimates were used reactively instead of proactively to try to set up dives with General Dill. But after that double kill, he just was kind of behind a little bit. Saw some flashes of really good fights in the dragon area, which seems like everything was around a big objective this game.
Yeah, they made this a relatively low damage team comp. I don't know if you guys can see the after game stats.
Yeah, I'm showing.
But total damage to champions, not all that high across the board on the side of HVG.
I was just thinking
even though with that Annie is at 18,000, Azir still ended up doing a lot more than that. But the fact that Olaf was just such a disruptive force in the game, just absolutely was what turned it around. So for me, if I've got to do an MVP for myself, who I got to vote in, I got to give it to Bunky. I think that he played the Olaf almost perfectly. I think that he did exactly what his team needed. And sure, DG Mad Hatter was there with the stuns, but I mean, you're Annie. That's your job, you know. My stun's up. Hey, come here, you know. And they put it off perfectly.
Yeah. Sean, are you throwing in that?
Yeah, I'm gonna get the straw poll. Don't worry.
Desktop capture. Hold on. Oh, geez, I wasn't showing them the stats like I thought it was. Apologies, chat. I thought I was showing you guys the stats, but here we'll go through them one more time. Give you guys a chance to look through that. So we do see that, in fact, the Azir did more damage than the Annie. The Tristana, more damage than the Sivir, but the discrepancy is made up for by the fact that the Bard did more than twice as much damage as the Braum, and the Maokai doing much more damage than the Shen as well in those fights. So I think overall, as far as total damage goes, it probably still goes over to Hidden Valley Gaming. But their carries came out of unexpected places. Maybe not necessarily on the Annie and the Sivir, but onto the Olaf instead. So.
Well, yeah, and also it was indicative because this Sivir is not going to be doing a lot of damage until later and later the game goes. And the game ended at 34 minutes exactly. So, you know, the Sivir damage was coming up because of these times where they were untouched in the team fight. But the Azir is going to be able to get so much poke. And we saw a lot of really good Azir plays out of him, getting Allergic to Milk out of 2 Bard portals twice to catch him out and get some, you know, advantageous plays for them. But overall, man, Bunky. My God.
Really impressive, Olaf. Do you think they'll or if you're the captain, do you ban it? Because, you know, you have your own team. Say RIP's playing them. What do you do going into the next draft?
Oh, I'm definitely not banning the Olaf.
Okay.
I choose different laners, safer laners, or we just play around it. We know the level 2 cheese is going to happen. They should have known that going into it because Annie's a lockdown. I think Annie's the more of the problem because Olaf, without lanes that can help him with CC, he has to land his axe. So if you can still give over the Maokai. It wasn't a huge problem, but I think
absolutely,
it can help in the execution of the ganks. But this Annie pick, after you focus 3 bans on DG Mad Hatter, taking a lot of pre-game, you know, pressure on his shoulders to find something to work for his team, and he did, and he found something that worked really well. Also, if you're the side of BAT, maybe not choosing a super scaling comp because your early game is very non-existent unless General Dill was able to get off the ground going. And while he had some good gank attempts and stuff, when we found him, like once he hit 6, he was already behind because of what happened mid lane because of the Annie Olaf. Agreed.
He was way too far behind to be an actual impact on that game. And
All right, you know what,
well played
Labyrinth?
by HVG.
I'm going to cut you off here. We're actually going to go ahead and take a quick 1-minute pause here as we get the VOD loaded up. We'll get the teams back in the lobby and we'll get Champion Select started in a moment. But if you guys are just joining us, thank you guys for hanging out. I know it's late, but that we just finished up with Game 1, Week 6 here, Hidden Valley Gaming versus Big Anime Titties with Hidden Valley Gaming taking it. It was a close game for most of it, but Hidden Valley Gaming eventually pulled ahead and managed to take that first win. So we will be getting back into Game 2 in just a moment. Thank you guys so much. We'll be back in just a moment.